All right, let's jump right in and tackle one of the trickiest, most confusing grammar points for the IELTS exam, the future tense. We're going to really break down the difference between will and going to, and I promise you, by the end of this quick explainer, you'll be using them with total confidence.
So you see these two sentences, I'm going to see a movie and I'll see a movie. They look almost the same, right? But that tiny little difference, that's what can make your English sound so much more natural and precise. If you've ever paused and thought, wait, which one should I use here? Trust me, you are not alone. It's a super common sticking point.
So, why are we focusing so much on this one little thing? Well, because for the IELTS, getting the future tense right isn't just a minor grammar point. It's a huge signal to the examiner that you have a deep, fluent command of English. Nailing this is absolutely crucial for getting a top score in both your speaking and your writing. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds kind of complicated, but I promise you, it's not. The core rules are actually surprisingly simple. We're about to clear this up once and for all, so you can walk away feeling completely in control. Okay, first up, let's focus on going to. The best way to think about this one is as your go-to phrase for talking about things that are already decided. You know, the things that are already in your calendar, in your diary, or just firmly in your mind as a plan. And here is the absolute key, the number one rule. If the decision was made before you opened your mouth to speak, you use going to. It's all about a pre-existing plan. The thought, the intention, it was already there. And just look at the examples here. I'm going to study engineering? That's a huge long-term life plan. We're going to meet at 6? That's a very specific arrangement you've made with someone. And he's not going to attend. That's a firm decision he's already made. See the pattern? In every single case, the decision happened before the sentence was spoken.
But wait, going to has another important job. It's also used for making predictions. But, and this is a big but, it's for predictions that are based on clear evidence, something you can see or hear or know for a fact right now.
So, for example, you don't just think it might rain. You look up, you see the dark clouds, and that's your evidence. That's why you say, it's going to rain. Or you're not just guessing about a company's future. You see the numbers, the profits are falling. That's the evidence for your prediction. It's all about that clear link between what's happening now and what's about to happen. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about will. This is where we see a totally different picture of the future. If going to is all about plans, think of will as the king of spontaneity. This is the polar opposite of going to. You use will for a decision that pops into your head at the very moment you're speaking. It's a sudden idea, a spontaneous offer, or a quick reaction to something that just happened. No prior plan whatsoever. You can almost feel the spontaneity in these examples, right? The phone rings, and without thinking, you just offer, I'll get it. You're at a restaurant looking at the menu, and you decide right then and there, you know what? I think I'll have the salad. Or you suddenly realize you're thirsty, and the idea hits you, I'll buy a bottle of water. All of these are perfect in-the-moment decisions. And just like its counterpart, will is also for predictions. But this is where the difference is massive. A will prediction is not based on evidence you can see. It's based entirely on your personal opinion, your beliefs, or maybe just a general guess about the far-off future. Just think about it. Saying, I think our team will win is just your hope or your feeling. It's not a fact based on evidence right now. And predicting flying cars in 2050, that's pure speculation, right? So when there's no immediate evidence and it's all about your opinion or belief, that is a job for will. All right, we've looked at them both individually. Now it's time for the main event, the ultimate face-off. Let's put them side by side so you have the perfect cheat sheet to make this distinction crystal clear, once and for all. So here it is, everything in one place. When we're talking about plans, it's a pre-decided plan with going to versus a spontaneous, in-the-moment decision with will. And for predictions, it's going to when you have evidence you can see the car driving too fast versus will when it's just your opinion, like telling a friend you think they'll enjoy a book. It really all boils down to two things, planning and evidence. So, how do we take all this knowledge and turn it into a higher IELTS score? Well, it's all about showing the examiner that you can make these choices deliberately and accurately, especially when you're under pressure. So in the exam, whether you're speaking or writing, just run this super simple 3-step checklist in your head. First, ask yourself, is this a plan or just a sudden idea? Second, if it's a prediction, do I have any evidence right now? And third, based on your answers, you can choose the right word with absolute confidence.
At the end of the day, remember this. Mastering this little detail isn't just about avoiding a grammar error. It's about demonstrating a sophisticated, nuanced, and truly fluent command of English. And that is something that will definitely impress your examiner and help push your score higher.
So there you have it. You now have the complete toolkit to master the future tense. The rules are clear, the difference is defined. The only question left is, where will you put this new knowledge into practice first? You've totally got this.